Welcome to The Explainer. I am absolutely thrilled to jump right in today. We're skipping the fluff and diving straight into hard, life-saving survival data. Because, let's face it, if you've ever wondered exactly what to do when you're suddenly face-to-face with nature's most formidable predators, well, you are in exactly the right place. We're going to break down 13 wild animal encounters, pulling directly from real survival statistics and wildlife behavioral science to basically map out your survival.
Okay, let's dive into this, because the data we're looking at completely rewrites how we think about danger. I mean, pop culture has us absolutely terrified of sharks, right? But they actually account for just 6 fatalities a year. Wolves? 10. Lions? 22. But scan down to the bottom of this list. The real champion of this terrifying competition is the snake, taking an unbelievable 100,000 lives annually. It's crazy. Our fear is entirely disproportionate to the actual data. So to make sure you survive, we've categorized these 13 animals into 4 specific environmental zones. We'll start at the water's edge, then move to savannas and safaris, trek through forests and fields, and finally wrap up with venomous encounters. Let's get moving. All right, first up, Zone 1, the water's edge. The stakes are incredibly high here, mostly because, well, you're in their element, not yours. You need to know exactly how to react when the water turns against you. Just imagine you're swimming, and you suddenly realize you aren't alone. For both sharks and crocodiles, your strategy relies entirely on knowing their specific biological weak points. If a shark engages, never panic, and whatever you do, do not turn your back. You'll immediately look like prey. Instead, move slowly, and if you are caught, aim directly for the eyes and gills. Now, crocodiles are a bit different. They have the strongest jaws on the planet. If one grabs you, again, aim for the eyes and throat. But here is the absolutely crucial difference. If you're on land and a croc approaches, run in a zigzag pattern and shout as loud as you can. However, if you spot one while you're swimming in the water, do the exact opposite. Don't splash, don't shout. Be as quiet as humanly possible and just swim away.
And, you know, this perfectly illustrates the danger of urban legends. You've probably heard the classic movie myth, if you get a nasty, nagging burn from a jellyfish, peeing on the sting relieves the pain. Yeah, no. Pure water or anything else like that is actually going to make the situation so much worse. The correct, science-backed protocol here is to immediately wash the area with salt water, carefully remove the remaining jellyfish parts with tweezers or a stick, and then apply an antihistamine ointment. Plain and simple.
Moving right along to Zone 2, savannas and safaris.
Now we leave the water behind and step out into the savanna. We're going to pick up the pace a bit here, because we're dealing with imposing giants where physical dominance is simply not an option for us. Facing a lion requires you to act completely contrary to every instinct you have. Ready? 1. Maintain unbroken eye contact. Turning your back or looking away gives the predator the absolute perfect window to strike. 2. Look massive. Lift your arms, open your jacket, literally do whatever it takes to look big and threatening. And 3. Speak loudly and confidently. Make sounds, gesticulate wildly. By doing all of this, you act completely unlike typical prey. You go from looking like an easy meal to baffling the predator, appearing as this irritating, intimidating presence that they'd honestly rather just avoid. Now, elephants. They are exceptionally clever and famously friendly, but make no mistake, they will absolutely attack, especially protective mothers who feel their babies are threatened. You really have to read their body language here. If you see a curled trunk and pulled back ears, that means imminent danger. They are preparing to crush you. And again, do not run. Your only play here is to find a physical barrier, like a large rock or a sturdy tree, and put it directly between yourself and the elephant. 37. That is the top speed in miles per hour of a charging rhinoceros. So the crucial point is, you cannot outrun them. It is totally, completely futile to even try. But here's the thing. Rhinos actually have terrible eyesight, which makes them easily frightened and super quick to attack. Because you can't outrun a 37-mile-per-hour giant, your survival depends entirely on breaking their line of sight. You absolutely must hide behind a tree. It's a substantial obstacle, and they simply won't follow you through thick bushes or high grass. Speaking of deceptive danger, hippopotamuses look incredibly cute, right? But that image is entirely misleading. They are highly aggressive and, despite their massive, bulky weight, they can run at 18.5 miles per hour. And angering them is painfully easy. A critical warning here. During hot droughts when water levels drop, hippos will actually hide in the high grass. If you happen to stumble upon one, your best chance to make them leave you alone is vertical elevation. Climb a tree, scale a rock, or get up a steep hill, and just wait them out.
All right, let's head into Zone 3, forests, fields, and jungles.
Moving from the open plains, encounters here are fascinating because seemingly standard animals have these highly unexpected behavioral trigger rules. Case in point, the kangaroo. They'll actually only pose a threat if you invade their territory and they feel endangered. If that happens, you've got to use this bizarre but brilliant tactic. Step 1, cough quietly. I know, it sounds weird, but a short, quiet cough makes the kangaroo think you're diseased, immediately making you way less of a threat. Step 2, slowly back away to look smaller. And step 3, whatever you do, do not turn and run. Kangaroos are perfect jumpers. They will catch up to you in seconds flat. So yeah, faking a quiet illness is genuinely your best bet here. Now, let's bust a massive myth. The whole red cape idea? Total fiction. Bulls react to movement, not to red or any other color. So if a bull is charging you, you must stand entirely straight and completely still. Take off your hat, a t-shirt, whatever you have on hand, and when the bull gets dangerously close, throw that item as far away from you as possible. The bull's vision will track the sudden movement of the flying object, and it'll actually change direction to follow the bait. Here's another terrifying number for you to look at. 30 miles per hour. That is the speed of a bear. Just let that sink in for a second. Running from a bear is a fatal mistake. If you run, you immediately look like prey, and out of pure instinct, they will run you down. You simply cannot outpace 30 miles per hour. Now, if you find yourself in the wrong place at the wrong time and a bear actually engages, you must follow this sequence exactly. 1, fall to the ground. 2, curl tightly into a ball and use your hands to protect your neck. 3, play dead. By doing this, you literally cease to be a threat. Now listen carefully. The bear might actually toss you around for a bit. Do not panic. Keep playing dead even after it seems to leave. Bears are highly intelligent animals, and they'll often stay around just to watch their prey to see if it gets back up. So stay down. When it comes to the king of the jungle, the gorilla, the rules change completely. Gorillas are proud leaders who protect their families and their land. They generally won't attack you if you behave obediently and submissively. To survive, you need to literally lower yourself. Sit down so you don't tower over them. Speak only in a whisper and absolutely avoid direct eye contact. If they approach or attack, curl into a ball. They're proud animals, and as a rule, they will not attack the weak and defenseless. Let's move to our final area, Zone 4, venomous encounters. Out here, physical dominance goes entirely out the window. Surviving is all about spatial awareness. Even small insects require a really solid strategy. Take bees, for example. They aggressively protect their hives and will sting even if you're just casually walking by. And did you know dark colors actually attract their attention? It's true. If you're wearing a black t-shirt, your chances of being stung are significantly higher. Now, if a swarm starts following you, you have to use a totally counterintuitive strategy. Hide in a dark place. The lack of proper lighting will literally throw the insects right off your track. Now, what's really interesting about this next one is how it dismantles the biggest Hollywood survival myth of all. If you recall our earlier data, snakes are statistically the deadliest animal on Earth. First off, to avoid them entirely, if you realize a snake is following you, stomp your feet. The vibrations will confuse it and it'll usually let you be. But if you are bitten, never, ever try to suck the poison out of the wound like you see in the movies. There's no way that works. The reality is much more clinical. You need to wash the bite with running water, apply a tourniquet, and immediately call an emergency line. Across all of these incredible encounters, from the water's edge to the deepest jungles, the underlying truth remains exactly the same. Survival means overriding your human panic, respecting their specific territory, and never, ever acting like typical prey. We've armed you with the data, the specific behavior triggers, and the structured plans to stay alive. So, looking at everything we've just uncovered, which animal do you feel most prepared to face now?